towards the end of this park, the left end, about where you see the last couple of palm trees built by the British back in 1771. The basement of this building was a provost dungeon for political prisoners when the British occupied the city. It's also been a bank, a post office in 1884. During World War II, it was a Coast Guard station. A little bit later on, there was a city jail down on the basis of the old stone wall that used to surround the city of Charleston, which runs through the basement there of that building. Back in April of 1670, a group of English colonists in 2 ships sailed about 3 miles up that river to the first highland on the west side, which they named Albemarle Point, and established the first Charlestown, named for King Charles II of England. Now in the spring of 1680, that town did relocate to its current position that you'll find on the peninsula today. But they were fired upon by a battery of cannons over on Morris Island that were manned by cadets from the Citadel. That is just on the other side of Fort Sumter there. Now those were really just warning shots, as that ship was unarmed and unescorted, and it was forced to turn back. So still needing supplies, and Lincoln wanting to put pressure on the South. On April 8th, supply ships were dispatched from New York, this time with a naval escort, expected to arrive by April 15th.
Very good. They were going to make short work of that fort. But I will say, those ornamental ones turned out to be the greatest strength of that fort. Turns out when they opened fire, the English opened fire, their cannonballs just started bouncing right off the walls of that fort. They weren't really able to do any damage to that small fort. Now that did buy the colonists a lot of time to sight their cannons in pretty accurately with their small 26 number cannons there. They were able to do extensive damage to all 9 of those ships, and after about a 9-hour battle, that fleet was actually forced to retreat back out into the ocean, safe from the range of that small fort. Now, here he is a pretty avid golfer, as well. He does partially in the minor league baseball team. We have the Charleston Underdogs, one of the former teams. Sullivan Island.
One of the other notable homes out here on the island.
Most expensive gym boat in America.
Small red house, red siding, red roof. To the right of that one, that smaller, darker colored home with a white metal roof. That was the primary filming location for the movie Deer Town. If you guys have ever seen that movie, that was the house they used in that movie. And you can actually rent that house off of Airbnb. Just keep in mind, as prices are some of the most expensive in the zip code, rental prices are as well. That house is about $1,200 a night right now off of Airbnb.
base here. Soon nothing's good about it. They will just going to be stuck on the marina bottom there, stuck in mud. So they are strapped it, salvaging what they can off of that vessel. It's not something they will tow the rest of that hull out of the Atlantic Ocean, but they will sink it as far as our Costa Rica.
Mama, get the
Alrighty guys, on the bridge directly ahead of us here, this is the Arthur Ravenel Jr. Bridge, named after the retired congressman from South Carolina, United States. This one does have to be one of the larger ones currently out there in the country. Now it did open July 16, 2005, taking 3 years to build, and actually being completed 1 year ahead of schedule and under budget at $630 million, saving the taxpayers $150 million. Now it does have 8 lanes for just around 90,000 vehicles a day that use this bridge, as well as a 12-foot wide bicycle and pedestrian path on the south side of the bridge here. Now the width of that main span that you see between the two larger towers, that is 1,546 feet from from tower to tower there. And at high tide, the center of that main span does sit about 100 the tower. Now if basically ocean-going vessels, I do mean the larger ships that you see come in or out of here, such as the container ships. If one of those were to be headed directly at one of these towers, it would not actually reach the tower. Now the rock formations do look a little bit small on the surface, but underneath the water, a little bit different story going on. By the time they reach the river bottom, they actually fan out. They play a major role in the two missile crisis. Nothing patrols out of the old naval base here in Charleston up and down the East Coast. And they are actually in the process of scrapping that submarine as it is becoming too costly